In Minneapolis, people gathered on Easter Sunday close to the spot where George Floyd was killed nearly a year ago. The murder trial of fired police officer Derek Chauvin begins its second week this morning, and our Jamie Yuccas is outside the courthouse where it'll happen. That's in Minneapolis. Jamie, good morning to you.
Good morning. Minneapolis is increasing law enforcement presence on the streets this week for the trial. George Floyd's death affected people far beyond the city. We even met a woman here yesterday who drove from Iowa to pay her respects. But at the heart of this tragedy is a community still grieving.
An Easter celebration gathered here in the World Outreach for Christ Church parking lot, just feet from the memorial marking where George Floyd died. Pastor Curtis Farrar honored Floyd during his Easter service.
It is going to take the power of God to get racism out of our human nature.
Julie Jefferson reflected on Floyd's death after the service.
It's hard to understand how one human being could do that to another human being. For us that goes to this church, no matter what they change around here, you're going to always remember that moment.
Sammy Birch lives not far from where Floyd died back in May.
Prayer is one act of action, but you got to take action as well. Protest, teach people rights from wrong.
What would justice look like?
Well, to be treated as one. I mean, I'm no different than you, you're no different than me.
As the Derek Chauvin trial hangs over Minneapolis, Jefferson says the testimony has been too painful to watch.
I have two sons. They're grown and married now, and I look at that as if that could have been them.
Testimony like Friday's from the most senior Minneapolis police officer, who was highly critical of Chauvin's use of force on Floyd.
Putting your knee on a neck for that amount of time is just uncalled for.
Chauvin's attorneys dispute those claims and argue it was a combination of health conditions and drugs that caused Floyd to die. We expect more officers to take the stand this week, including the chief of the Minneapolis Police Department, who fired Chauvin days after the incident and apologized to Floyd's family.
Jamie, thank you.